bits I've done. So recently I hired this tunnel because this is the local mine for them. This is the guy who watches over the mine, his little hut. Now I've increased the path, so we've got a town tower. We've got this town which is under them, the reconstructed one. Now we've got something new. We've got the path, and that bridge will be explained in a minute. So this is directions back in case you're lost, so if you see this you know instantly, right? Even though you can see from here, it's just the point that you see this first. This is a little watchtower to watch over the bridge. I mentioned before, like, if a threat from intelligence, so that small St. Pancras fort of the Blue Cross Empire, the reason they're allowed to live in our borders is because they work for us. They're under us, technically, in the sense that we give them information where to be attacked, so we don't have to deal with it. Not like I'm in worry about dealing with it, but it's just cheaper if they do it. But they don't know that. So we have a long path. We've got two. So first we go this way, then we go that way. Along this path we use orange sand to red sand, orange colour, but red sand to recommend roads on sand and then paths like this. And what else? Including snow biomes, we use red sand. Here's the abandoned village. There's nothing up here. Go annoying, but so here's the small abandoned village, which has two main resources: fish and farming, which they used to do a lot of farming, just sort of wheat farming in this farm. A lot of water, a lot of mining. Very small village. So if you have a quick look around, you would notice quite a few huts, quite empty. An iron shaft, because they used to be miners, so they would have ironworks. Oh, actually chicks. But bugger all here. And you were like, what? Why? I actually don't. But that makes sense to me. Because you know there's not a lot of stuff around left, and I think I've mentioned it. But a lot of wars happen in these areas. So this is the town hall, and here's the small village. What happened was thieves and pillaging parties came in, killed most of the people, didn't burn it, just killed people, and then kept coming back and robbing them each week. Until people from like these towns leave, or they screw in, pillage the place themselves. How did I not see this village? Oh, because of that hill. But you know which way they're headed, that way. But the roads in this world are annoying, and that's because of rivers. Because you need a way to travel with stuff, and the roads are the safest route in this world. And not traveling this way, it's not like traveling this way is not safe, but you can get attacked with roads, and in case you are mugged, there's always someone like our empire, the Pink Empire, constantly has death march squads, which are like squads made up of, let's say, so there'll be a staggered column like this, like this, and there'll be the back. So you would have a swordsman at the back. The commander would be here in the middle, with his arms rock. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 no, 8 bowmen, 1 commander, and 2 swordsmen. And we always carry, you know, in a Minecraft world, we'll be carrying the best equipment. Diamond armor. We're never shit. But in this world, we've just got machine guns and all sorts. And 2 men with swords would be electric batons, like in Half-Life 2. So we really will mess shit up. While we're fighting pillagers with knives. So we're basically walking down here to show presence. Any poor village would have leather armoured men bob along this my highway, which is what these are. Because these long paths, as not shit as they are, they're never made. Always a guard. Like this bridge, for example, has a guard station. We'd have a guard here 24/7. And these bridges were built after the war, so you can tell the pillager place. Actually, it's gone. So the pillagers would be gone, and it'd just be an empty building. So it'd be now a rest stop. Nothing here, just a piece of wood. We built a highway next to it because why be able to spend money on wooden bridges? Like, you'd think, why spend all this resource, put all these resources into small towns? And you got to remember, this world is 95% villages. And there's giant lakes around here. The reason we have these roads is nothing to do with the villages themselves. Is if they're attacked or something happens, we have an easy way to leave. Because going for this, look at this one. It's all bumpy, it's all horrible. With these, you've got a certain route that you know it's going to be clear. You know you're going to be going through. Now, like of the other place, there's lots of lights at random places. So the watchtower watches over the bridge, and there's a guard at the bridge. There's the village that's reconstructed. Over here is the safari towns we talked about in the last one. The thing with safari towns are they have to pay pillage to the bigger things. So they have not a lot of money. And this is their farming capability. You know, they're very poor and they have to rely on the guardians to protect them when they've got not a lot. So each month taxation groups come in, break into houses, search. Now the fish, the only thing they have that's worth money is their horse. Everything else is just being looked on upon thieves. Because they sleep at night. Most creatures. Thieves come at night. Basically break into places, rob their shit. And you can see like a brown colour. That's their empire. They're brown. So they pledge allegiance. This building has allegiance signs to the brown. The brown is the pillaging group. They go by colours. Like in the city I showed, if you watch my old ones, like the gangs, you have the blues, the purples, and the reds. They're the gang colours. And the gangs out here are the pillagers. So the colours in the city, in the big city, are blue, red, yeah, but they're connected to the people outside. So there's a lot of in and outside thieveries and stuff like that. In our kingdom, there's only one legal thievery group. It's called the local thievery group. And what that is a place where they can deposit stuff towards the empire to not be slaughtered. And the reason they do that is A, because as long as they don't steal within our borders, we don't care. But outside our borders, like here, it's all free grab. So sheep are normally killed, lamb is normally taken, So they'll kill, pillage everything out here. Like this farmland here, they'll pillage it, all the supplies. Then they'll go down the highway. Nope. They'll take the highway all the way back towards our empire, because then they can trade it. That's the point. So they go all the way back, trade it all back here, so they'll come all the way through here, past the watchtowers. They'll be armless, so they'll be like with a lantern, like just a normal person. They'll pass through. They might rob here, they might not. Most likely, no, because they're at the point where the Empire protects, and there's a giant watchtower, so any suspicion will be easy to see. People like traders are often unknown. And this is called a leather tax, because there's a tax on everything. People normally break in. Now, this farm, this town, is protected by this empire, but you will notice the flag to it isn't proudly displayed. Not in the spirit. It's not proudly displayed like, oh look, we're the empire. We're part of the Blue Cross. No, it's on the side that only the Blue Cross can see, and it's because they support farming. Because they don't have a farm, so they need someone to give them food. So they got this place, and because this place is with such small population. Yeah. Do you remember that stain room down the bottom with all the beds? Most of the guards who patrol highways come in there. I think I'm going to build some mock villages along this way, but I'm going to... Alright, in the next video I think I'm going to build some villages, so one like here, one small one over here. You're going to get the point that there's lots of small... Like this is a small village, but I want more buildings and more people in it to make sense. But the reason that you see like reconstructions of villages is not because these empires are, yeah, these are money grabs, no, because the people who live out here work out there. Because if you imagine that, alright, this is all just as a forget all that, and there's one town here. This is massive desert. Just scale this up. So this is all this land around here. This is the village. Here's supplies, and over these will be like the road. Here's the road. If the road's connected to them, but not the supply, that's fine, because they'll come this way. But if the road would also then be far enough near the supply that they can come back forth in their supply. That's why. Because they're the ones who mine things in caves. Our mining methods take too long. Anyone in our big mines will tell you it takes months to dig out, because we like to not have a single doubt of risk, because we've used to mine really risky, and then we had hundreds of deaths and that giant monument was made. And because most of our miners are owned by the lower class, so yeah, it caused big backlash and a lot of things. And because the people in this world do mining like this, they mine up big chunks and then they fuck off. And that's the cause of this was mining underneath, and a lot of the mines collapse. But because they're mining outside the Empire's view, so outside the public, the news publications' view, the news never come out here. And when they do, it's just like poor village, not owned by anyone. So, well, That's the point. We can't be blamed for what the small village does. And empires like this one are close to water. Most of the towns and villages you see in this world are near to water, and there's 14 reasons why. Two of the main ones are trade, food. They're the main ones. The others are to do with economical and religious reasons for some, especially ones who believe in the sea lords and they pray to sea gods. Our empire is the fox god, so we don't touch the sea, but we're in the sea for economic reasons, not religious. And because we need somewhere for a fleet to turn out. Because with a port we can trade. There's a real difference. This kingdom here is all about protecting the local towns, which we fund because it's fun to see them try, and they're all about watching themselves and keeping big areas defended. Why our kingdom instead builds big chunky cities and defends itself completely. What I mean is, we've got defense satellites over this way. Because of map rendering, you won't see it, but a giant satellite in the sky that fires missiles can reach all the way over to that kingdom and to the little village of Africa, a safari town with the orange-coloured wood. That's the point. If our defense is so powerful, it's the point that us fearing about being attacked is just stupid. We've got helicopters. This airbase on its own will show jets, helicopters, space rocket. That's the point. And these guys have only just started smacking wood together, and maybe some very small kingdoms, not even that one can afford it, has a cart. And they're highways. That's when the highways get to free, when the carts get involved, but we don't build them. Most people actually walk to each town to get supplies across. So if you wonder why these villages, if we weren't here, or they're far away from our kingdom, supplies are very tense, but these villages can afford to rebuild, can afford that. Some are less fortunate because they don't have those supplies, or anyone nearby with wood supplies like us. So they have to make it themselves. And they only got about, let's say, to be nice, to a normal village's size, it'd be about 14 people. 2 stoners in this one. This one only has 2, but you used to have like 16. A lot of buildings got destroyed. It has 16, so it would have had 2 farmers, 2 animal carers, scientists, and a trader, and then some other people doing some other bits of multitasking. You get the point. Not a lot of people. Like this one here has only got like 20 to 30 people in it, and it's quite big. And you've got a single guy up here on the watchtower, and this is this giant air base. Imagine some of these bases where we're not normally based. They've got to watch out for themselves. Now I'm going to start portraying the Blue Cross, unlike our empire, which is big, are all about small. So this is St. Ports, which is the fort's name. Traders come in. Look, I got some bits. They've made some money. But this town's main industry be like this. Let's say this is what was bought in. These are all got traders and they're trading. You trade in one thing. See, unlike the castle and many other bases, this place operates on unstable land. Like, look at this, very unstable land. That a single explosion might make everything fucking fall in. And they cut down trees. So these aren't these trees. These are supplies from other bits over there, where the old forest. What happened was they needed supplies, so they cut down giant forests. Trees were high. I'm not joking. These trees were big and high. Cut them down about this high height. Not those, but thinner. They chop them all down. Skin them all sorts to make fortresses, roads, houses. They do this to many forests, but most wooden supplies are nowadays sailed in. Wait, there's a village over here. Ooh, we found a new village, boys. But yeah, the point is, like, towns like this. Oh shit, this is... What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. Villages like this. An island. Wow, this is kind of cool actually. An island village like this. You can see how unstable the ground is, but has a self-reliance. So this island alone has self-supply, and this is probably never been upgraded. Is it on here? It's abandoned. God, these houses. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. What the fuck? I gotta screenshot this. That's kind of hilarious, but you get to point out how unstable this ground is. Houses have entirely just went. Not a safe area to live in. Houses have slipped, and most people live in these areas. Here's their market. Yeah, so this is the town. It's got a market. Fuck, which way? That's. I hate that. I hate going away from my big chunks of roads. But you get the point. The small towns like this spy completely on Insta, and not this one's dead, as you can see. The law, I can make a law reason for that, because I can everything. Money. If there is no more money, or no way you can get supplies brought to you by boats, or you don't have any connections to the outside world, like that village there, which I didn't know existed. Well, yeah, things happen like that, where it's they're seen by these kingdoms and other places, but there's just nothing there. And this kingdom isn't small, so next up we've got the Pink's kingdom that's owned by another kingdom, blah 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 law. That, yeah, this kingdom doesn't look big. Then you go underground, and this kingdom's built itself a keep underground. Also, this is my favourite one because the flooring here is separate than the concrete. So yeah, this place has real defences, real guards. Yeah, I've got wooden village here. This village, it's got towers, it's got defences, it's got windmills, it's got quite advanced shit for its time in this part. Then you've got us, our kingdom, which has giant outer walls built with modern versions of stone walls. So that's how a castle would look in this world, and this is how a modern castle was built in this world. Oh, did I not finish? No, I have finished all the others. Yes, we've got death camps because you know I mentioned my kingdom's not a nice one, but massive. But if you wanted, this was a very hard project, and I had to use a lot of explosives to get them flat enough. But yeah, you go massive, you get bigger, and we're now to the point where I'm rambling a bit, but you know this kingdom's going to use wood, and we do use wood, but we use a lot of stone. Look at this place. Oh, it's lagging a bit now. Welcome to the part of the map where it starts to lag. Oh, the lag. Oh, my son's gone. In here we've got storage of things. We've got gold and shit. So you get the point that this kingdom was a point. Checkpoint, security, robotics. Here's the other village. The opposite way. If we go away from that way, there's another village over here that's unstable. But this village area is known to be a trading hut. And I don't know why I actually built it, because to be fair, who the feck's going to find this place? Because there's giant mountains in the way, but it's just the point of there's the villager station again. So there you get the point. This kingdom's massive. We're big, we're strong, we've got a fort there. That part has a fortress on it to defend it. Over there's Forestry Island, just Forest Island. We've got a giant military base here with giant silos. We have massive trading ships. That's not ours. We've got a giant building which is full of shops. You won't see it all the way through because of how it's built. But yeah, massive filled up shops. You've got the Wall of Island, the poor area of the town, which has food supply areas and housing, which is built so cheaply you wouldn't believe it. We've got the local area dump where all the local building supplies are dumped in. Yeah, that one. Where they dump their shit in here and get paid cut in like pennies. And that's the point. Trading is shit for the lower class. We've got entries in the military area. Checkpoint, which is a giant building with lots of checkpoints and automatic lockable doors and all sorts. And here's the military base. Here's the point. Yeah, with alarm traps. So yeah, this place is fully giant artillery and all that. That's the barracks. Then we've got train network. This is our advanced wheel. We've got train networks, banks, we've got nuclear missiles, we've got this in here under there. That's the fake entrance. But inside there is a giant underground version of, same as the other kingdoms, a giant underground housing area. Because we house a lot of people. We've got hospitals, modern technology hospitals, modern housing for the rich, giant libraries. You'll get the point. These are modern. The church, you know, it's just massive. And then with the mine, I've got to explain this. The mine itself has a transport link from that mine over there. It goes all the way to the mine, so quite far away. By the way, if you think that is it, nope. You're welcome. Further down, and all the way, all of here to the mine, which is that. This is where you are right now. And then this is built really cheaply at the side. And the reason is, as a kingdom, we weren't going to build this nicely because we knew in the case of a war or an emergency, we would have to blow it all up. So all of this would collapse. Yeah. So now you get the point. A lot more as well. We haven't talked about satellite. So now we have to go to the sky. There's a bit more to this map and some lore and lots of buildings here, specialist town buildings. I was experimenting. And you can see where the work's been done. You won't, but you will if you knew. You got the wall around this. If you notice, there's barbed wire. It's not sign fence, but it's barbed wire in this one around this kingdom because they're slaves. We've got checkpoints here. An old lighthouse with a garden top. This is a long time since when I put that card up there. I'll tell you that. We've got the old mine because we've got the modern mine. The old one. That other one goes all the way down to the new materials of the world where it gets black, which really is bonkers to me. But yeah, that's new Minecraft. We've got trading huts, the old town hall. Where the Lord Mayor is. Okay, I don't remember why I wrote that, but alright, second ages ago. We've got the kingdoms, the old kingdoms, in the old world, who are connected to the new project. And if you want to see how many kingdoms are, so America's here. America's only a small part. America, well, the world was fucking in. America fucked itself over. They built themselves rockets. The rocket failed. They built one giant cruiser. The rocket split in atmosphere during superstructure. The country survived. The small one here, which is a country because of the how do you explain it? Like a warp, and what cave suddenly appeared and shit went to hell, and the technology went advanced. So we've got Poland, Germany, Sweden, Japan, all the countries in the UK, and the new kingdoms. That's Wales. I'm sorry, Wales. They don't have a fucking dragon in Minecraft. And there's the modern kingdom of Pink, which we are now. The Pink Empire has not a race. We don't care about colour, skin, race. And if you think, wait, colour's race, not in this universe. In this universe, there's species and races. So we have fox people, fox people, we have rabbit people, you know, things you see in like anime, fantasy shit. All that shit happened. This is the nuclear bomb. I haven't put the bomb here. You can see the window slides open. Now here's the point. We're advanced enough to destroy this entire world in a couple of minutes. We've got all this modern shit, nuclear weapons, and we brought it to this world. And there's no nukes in this world, by the way, no nuclear waste. So nuclear stuff has to be transported by rocket to us. Yeah, so this world's really mental. In the world, the law that I'm making for this world is the world's fucked. The original world's fucked. So we travel to different dimensions, universes, and shop and planets that also had human beings, which we found out was, oh shit, we're not the only things planet with human beings. There are lots of planets just 4 billion light years away, and we're never going to reach them. And at that point, oops, right, dimension broke. World was on different. I think that's all for this video today. And if you want to know what the ship's name is, I know you're not, but that destroyer over there, I'm going to do a tour again of. That's the HMPS Succubus. modern aircraft restationing ship is the official term. Doors and everything. The ship has a lot more. It's very simple because it is a ship, but it's got a lot more like signage. Like, these are the things behind it than it is a ship. This is, by the way, if you're thinking like, oh, you know, you got this design from someone, you know, someone designed this for. No, everything you see, including that fucking ship there, is from scratch. You can look all over the internet for these ships, you never fucking see them. These are my designs. I designed them because I was like, I like building ships in Minecraft. And in everything in Minecraft, I'm gonna admit this, I love castles. I can build fucking castles. When it comes to like ordinary world shit, it just becomes box and square. I love ships, and I love building castles and fortresses because they're cool, I'm interested in them, and I know my shit. And there is maths involved in these. Building stuff in Minecraft doesn't involve maths. You're fucking retard. To build something good in Minecraft, this ship over here involved symmetry. Fuck, that word's out of my head now. Being completely the same in math. So if you're wondering, wait, it goes out. Yeah, this is the bottom of the ship. I built out. Originally, I built it like this. It was like a line here. It went like that. Then I built the ship out of it, bunked it out. I built runway 1, runway 2. Then I built the fire station and the fireman. Then I built shit like, oh, let's build a captain's thing that has actually a little picture of the ship itself. The giant flag. Then we got the sail, holding sail. That one was undecided. And then we got the communications and office blocks. The reception. Then we got the radar station. All the bits of technology, the bridge. You know, all this shit. The anti-air, the machine guns, they're all just me pitting about with things and going, yeah, that looks good. We've got housing shops. We've got a housing here. All this done because I was like, I'm going to try something. And that's the point of Minecraft. If you've never done that, what are you doing? And this is the hardest part. I had to sponge all of that. Yeah, it does get a bit blocky here. That's because building ships isn't easy, especially this magnitude. I was gonna try and make it like my other ships, you know, like this. So I did the back and not the front because fuck all that. That noise would have taken too long and it needed a bit square. But yeah, this is it. If you want to see one of my good ones, my well designed ships. Some ships, I actually built that port was built after the ships. After the two big ones. Not before. But here you go. And that's shippy enough. Blocks all like that. That's an actual ship. Rigging, bells, back, cannon, and a rudder. Proper ship. This ship on itself is brilliant. Let's look at the bottom. Yeah, so these are the proper good ships I built. And fun fact, if you go back like a couple of videos ago, none of this existed. All this work wasn't here. Now, you'd be like, oh, it's so much more impressive if it was done in like survival or something like that. And I'm just like, yeah, it was. But people in survival are really keen, really smart, and they have time in their brains and they've written on maths, or they build something quite basic and shitty. People in creative are the same. I'm like, people normally get a pitch. That was done with a pitch, and I couldn't be asked that. When it came around to like copying something, I was like, oh, I got bored and I stopped. It was good, but I stopped. This was all done, right? If you've never built a Minecraft building like I have, but I'm going to teach you my tricks. So I build buildings like this. Let's say I'm going to build a house. No, when it comes to giant buildings like this, I'm building a house, so I'm going to have this dimension by this dimension. If I want it squared, and I'll do the maths and I'll count that and then count that and do that way. Right, that's the point. If you get the point, I'm like this. Build the dimensions up. Then that you can decide, I want a floor that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the floor. And then 1, 2, 3 down. You know, that's a floor and then down, you know, you get the point. That's Minecraft for me. I build it like that. Everything is built. Why am I showing you that? Let's go to the airport. I can actually show you what's under construction. Because I got a bit bored and I leave things and I build other things that I want to build. But this would show you. Look, there it is. Not finished. But there's a giant line here. You're like, what? I've already decided the space this would take up. I went all the way around there and decided, did all this just giant line to tell myself, that's the space. Then inside that line you start building. And then I might expand that line. If I can't, I can't. But I decided the runway is going to be long. So you're like, oh, this was already flat. No. I flattened. There's the point. This is the hollow out of a building. And you can see the 4 lines. Thank you for watching. Be back with another video.